What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Taking a Risk with George. And on today's episode, we're getting our RV tanks officially and professionally cleaned by Healthy Tanks, and you won't believe the results, so stay tuned. Alright, so the honey's been in contact with Healthy Tanks. They solve RV tank problems, and there you go. That's who's doing it today, and they're setting up. This is super duper exciting. Look at their machine. They've got a nice little gas-powered thing, and he's setting everything up right now. That's Charles. And this is Rose, and she and the honey have been talking for quite a while, right?
Yes.
And what exactly are you guys going to do today?
So today we're going to get your tanks cleaned out and factory reset. Our process removes all the sludge buildup, struvite growth, mold, sewer bugs, anything that's in there. We're going to get it out and get those tanks clean and fresh.
Super duper exciting, because as you guys know, I filmed it several times. We're having some issue with our black tank on our side, our black tank 1. So hopefully they'll be able to fix that and solve whatever is clogging it and stopping it from closing all the way. All right, so the wonderful Rose has something special for our channel here. Would you like to explain what this is?
Yes, so with all of our customers, we always recommend a probiotic tank treatment. This
cool.
is called Taking A Rizk. It's made by Just Science, backed by science. And this probiotic helps break down all of the waste inside of the tank. Just like your human digestive system is a temporary holding tank, so is your RV's holding tank. It's temporary. So we want to keep things properly flowing. This probiotic, it can be used in the black and gray tank, and you just use 1 capful or 2 ounces in each tank, and that will help keep things running and break down all the waste inside of there.
Very cool. And you were telling me there's something about a mother in there?
Yes. So just like apple cider vinegar creates a mother inside of the bottom, you know, if your jar is sitting on the counter, this does the same thing. So probiotic creates a mother inside of the tank, so that way it's long and lasting, and it continues to be strong inside of the tank and break down the waste.
That's right, so it doesn't just stop after the first time, because you were saying the other ones will actually die out, but these ones continue to grow and continue to populate.
Yes, so unlike a digestive enzyme, those actually live once and then they die. A probiotic continues to live inside and thrive inside the tank, and that's what you want, a good healthy environment.
Absolutely awesome. And your friend actually makes this, correct?
Yes, our friend out west in Arizona makes this, but we just happen to be distributors of his product because we believe in the science behind it.
And it sounds wonderful because it's all plant-based. It's safe for humans and pets and kids and all that, so
yes.
It's great. And you can use it as a cleaner, you were saying?
Yes, it's plant-based. There's no chemicals in it. There's no surfactants. It's completely safe. I use it on my counters. I use it to clean the toilet and around the toilet area as well. Healthy bacteria combats the bad bacteria, and that's what you want.
Absolutely wonderful. And if the people who are watching this want to get their own bottle, how could they go about doing that?
So they can order it on our website at holdingtankcleaning.com, or it's also on Amazon. We offer free shipping, and so does Amazon Prime.
Wonderful, and I'll make sure to link that in the description below, so if you are interested, definitely check down there if you want your own bottle. And thank you so much for explaining that to us.
Absolutely.
That is wonderful.
You're welcome.
All right, Charles is getting set up over here. I think he's ready to go. Are you ready to go? Oh man, you're a pro. So what do you got set up over here?
So this is our hydrojet. It's gas powered. We're going to go inside each of your tank from the outside. Obviously, go up in the tank. We use a multi-directional tips for the hydrojetter to get the top sides and bottom and back side of the tank. Also has flushing jets that push everything back to the outlet and down into the sewer.
Heck yeah, I'm so excited to see what comes out of there.
Let's do it.
Oh, I thought that was cable for like TV. I thought you were going to set up a TV out here while you were watching. Look at that little thing. That's awesome. So here we go. Did you put any type of chemicals or anything in there before you did this?
No chemicals, only water.
Just
and
water.
The benefit of our gas-powered hydrojetter that's belt-driven, that it heats the water as it's cooling the pump, and then in turn you get about 100, 110 degree water into your tank that helps remove everything a little bit
That's
better.
Wonderful. No cameras though? You don't have any cameras attached to it?
No, we can. We have a camera, the plumbing camera that we can send up there if we wanted to. Those are a little bit fatter, so it gets a little trickier going in a lot of the curves and stuff. They've gotten stuck. we've had to fish them out of there.
Yeah, I've tried to send things up there myself, and it does. It goes really far back, and then it goes straight up, so I wasn't able to get very far.
Yeah. So now we're in the black tank flushing all the goodies out of there.
And look at how thick and dark that is compared to everything that normally comes out. This is like the best looking coffee I've ever seen.
That's right.
But we're not drinking any of this today. All right, so Rose was showing me to actually check the tanks, which I completely forgot to do. And look, that's reading full, and he just flushed it. So we'll see what happens. Let's see, black tank 2 is 2/3 going down to 1/3. And then gray is at 1/3, which should be empty. And 1/3 for gray 2. So let's see what happens after they're done. Right, so check it out. That is getting all of that nasty gunk out of there. Holy moly. All right, so I'm on the other side of the RV, and you can smell it working. There is a thick odor of the odor that comes out of the dairy air. So, oof. But this is so cool. What a cool process. How's it going?
It's going.
You see anything big come out yet?
Nothing too chunky. This is probably just a lot of the slime and sludge buildup on the sides of the walls. Kind of my best description for this is, imagine this, you know, you go into a public place and you see the skid marks down the side of a toilet bowl. That's basically what's happening inside your tank. As it sits in there and you go to dump it, it's working its way down the side walls and across the bottom when it comes out and leaving a little bit of residual. So what happens is, you know, you can't get that stuff off there without scrubbing, even if the water sits on it. So that's basically what we're doing with our hydrojetter, is it's going in, scrubbing with the nozzle, and flushing it all out.
That's
with the water
absolutely
flow.
wild. I'm convinced there's something blocking the actual black tank valve from closing all the way. That's why I had to get the second valve there, because we were having a leak. Something, it was like slowly seeping out.
Yeah.
And there was one time where I opened it without knowing that before I had the valve on there, the second valve, and I got drenched in dookie.
Yeah,
it was
happens.
bad.
It happens. So any little thing can get caught up in that groove when you're dumping, and then you don't know it. You go to close your valve, and then that gate will come across and basically wedge it in there. So that's another thing we'll do after I get the tank cleaned out, is I'll try to get right by that valve and flush it out real good.
Wonderful.
Hoping we clear it out for you and you get a nice good close again.
That's what I love to hear. Because there have been several times where I thought I've cleaned this so well, like the water will actually come out clear.
Yeah, yep.
And now look, it's still coming out super thick brown. So there you go. You never know until you get
like
a pro.
I said, it coats the inside of that tank, and a lot of times putting more water on it, it just slides right across
Yeah.
it. And coming out of here, you're going to see clear water. But unless you're getting that scrubbing factor to the inside of that tank that this nozzle does, it's not going to knock it off of there.
Very cool. And how long does the process usually take?
So normally for one black tank and 1 or 2 grays, it's about 45 minutes to an hour. You have an extra bathroom in the back, so it may be a little longer with the extra tanks. So maybe an hour and a half.
Very cool. That's not bad at all to get your tanks fully cleaned.
No, not at all.
And how far do you guys travel to clean tanks?
So we're basically most of Florida.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we're based in Central Florida, but we go Jacksonville to Tampa, east to west coast.
Oh wow. So there you go. If you're anywhere in Florida, definitely call them and they'll get you. Here's another look at the healthy tanks. They solve your RV tank problems, and I'll put the number back on there one more time, and of course, and I'll link it down below in the description if you guys need your tanks cleaned. This is the way to go.
Definitely.
All right, what's the worst tank you've ever cleaned?
So believe it or not, it was one of the first ones I ever went on. And they had an issue like you had. The valve was just not closing all the way, and they really didn't realize it. So they would dump, some would come out, they just close it, keep going on. Well, basically that went on for 2 to 3 months, and the entire tank filled with solids.
Oh gosh.
So no liquids in there, nothing was coming out. So as we put the hydrojetter in there, if I let it go in too far, get behind the solids, nothing was coming out, even with the water I put in there.
Oh Lord.
So as I inched it back towards that gate valve, it would just come down, all the sludge would start coming out. It was kind of like lava coming
Oh Lord.
coming down the side of a mountain. And it took a better part of 2 hours just to get it all out of one tank.
Wow, and I've used the porter potty. That reminds me of what you just explained, where it was just nothing but solids all the way to the top. And look, the water is slowly changing color from that dark brown to a lighter brown now.
Oh yeah.
And the line that he's going there, you can see he's just pushing it back and forth, and that nozzle is just whipping around in there, right? Cleaning the sides of that tank, and it's 110 degree water. How fast is it coming out, do you know?
So I've probably got you set up about 2,000 PSI right now.
Wow, does it go any higher?
I can get it up to about 3.
Holy moly.
We don't want to go quite that high, It's not going to damage these tanks. It's not going to damage your sensors. But with inexperience, you can cause problems.
Oh, okay. So what would happen if we actually used the bathroom right now while you were doing this? Would we get shot from behind?
If it's positioned just perfectly, the 1 in a million shot jet going up that tube.
So it's a free bidet right now is what you're saying. We've got an option to get a really good cleaning. How cool. All right, so he's been cleaning it for a while, so let's see what we're at now. Oh, wow, look at that. It's finally not reading full anymore. That is absolutely wonderful. That makes my heart so happy. I love just seeing that at empty, especially after I clean it, but since they've been cleaning it, that works for me too. All right, so what happened?
So basically, I'm going to show you this. We'll get footage of it, but it's all broken down now. It's going to look like a sand, but it's busted up struvite, and struvite grows inside your tank. It's basically a mineral deposit growing, coming from the sewage.
It's like kidney stones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's solid on the inside of the tank. So again, the 2000 psi hydrojetter blasts that off the inside of the tanks, breaks it all up so it comes out. So
that's awesome. Let's take a peek. Oh my goodness, look at that. And that water is super clear now.
Coming out very clear. It's probably just got a little bit of that sandy stuff in it, but
see if I can actually get a better view.
We broke it all up.
That is wild. So we just got back from the Leaky Tiki this morning. I haven't even emptied out the car yet from all the stuff that we brought and all the presents and all the food and stuff like that. So that's what I was doing. And just about done now, and hopefully I'll be able to pay more attention to what's going on so I don't miss anything cool like that. The honey was telling me a big old fat chunk of that stuff came out and it looked just like a big rat or something gnarly like that. So hopefully I'll get to catch it on the next tank when they go to clean our black tank number 2. All right, so black tank 1 is clean.
Black tank 1 is clean.
Absolutely
Struvite
awesome.
Has been extruded. It's all out of there. Now we're going to head into the gray tank.
All right, let's see what comes out. Hopefully nothing. Just soaps and stuff. Maybe some grease, because every once in a while,
yeah,
we're cleaning dishes.
You get some food particle that gets by your strainers. You know, everybody tries their best not to get any down there, but it ends up in there no matter what.
Yeah.
A lot of times you get some mold growth in there.
Oh, wow.
The food particle, a lot of soap scum. Well, I mean, it looks pretty normal to me. It might be odd to you.
Let's check out the other end, see what's flowing down this way. That is some dark gray water. That is the darkest gray water I've ever seen come out of there. How wild. Ooh, and that smell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The neighbors must love us.
Yeah, sometimes it smells worse than the black because you know, you expect it from the black tank.
Yeah.
From the gray. So when you get that odor, it's kind of like, wow, that's kind of bad.
It's definitely got some growth in there, that's for sure. Any chunks yet?
Nothing chunky.
All right, folks, if you're not convinced that you need this, I highly suggest you rethink that, because we as humans are very out of sight, out of mind. If we don't see it, we don't pay it no mind. What actually happens in your tanks when you're not paying attention to it is tons of buildup of hair, food, waste, and all kinds of other nastiness. And all of that stuff builds up on the walls. It doesn't just come out every time you flush the tank. It sticks to your walls and it stays there until you have a company come out with a hydrojetter that can easily and safely break all that stuff down. Would you believe it if I told you that this is actually the perfect environment to grow mold? Yes, believe it or not, it's damp, which they love, it's dark, which they need, and there's tons of nutrients in your poop. Yes. So mold can grow like crazy in both of your tanks, but not only that, you can also get an infestation of bugs. Yes, they find their way into your tanks, and not only that, you can get rats and snakes and all kinds of other critters. That's why it's not safe to leave your tanks open all the time. It's definitely recommended to close your tanks when you're not using them or dumping them. All right, they just finished black one and gray one. Look, this valve looks like it actually goes back to where it's supposed to now. There's no pushback on it whatsoever. That is absolutely phenomenal. All right, he's hooking up to black 2 and gray 2. In just a second, I'm gonna go check the sensors there. Do you wanna go check the sensors as well? Yeah, we'll go check that. So he's just flushing them out right now, and then he's gonna get his stuff hooked up and flushed out.
Go back
Super
inside.
excited. You did such a great job on the first one. Did you notice that the valve actually closed all the way?
It did. It closed a lot better.
There's no way. There's so many times I'll push it and it'll pop right back out. That's crazy.
Yeah, I noticed it went in farther, and so this sometimes leaves a little water in there. So I shot the water in there, and I came out, pulled the hose out real quick, and I went and closed the valves, and it looked like no water was running down.
Oh man, Charles, thank you so much. That's beautiful. Check it out, folks. I am so stoked. Look at that. It's reading empty. How crazy. Check out gray 1, empty. Oh my goodness. So cool. Black tank 1 is reading empty for the first time since we've gotten this thing.
Awesome.
That is wonderful. I 100% back you guys up. There's no doubt about it now. You guys did what you came out to do, and I cannot believe it.
That's great.
Let's see what happens with black tank 2.
Now we're going in black tank 2.
Which also has never read completely empty since we got it. But this one has definitely read lower than full all the time.
Okay.
This process is not something you need to do very often, but once a year maintenance on these can save your RV tank's life. It'll extend it, and it'll make sure that you're living in a sanitary-ish condition so that you're not getting those buildup and not having to worry about any types of bugs or rodents or any type of other creatures getting into your system and into your home. This has been such an absolutely wonderful experience. I cannot believe the tanks are finally reading empty. Rose was telling me that because they use gas instead of electric, they get a lot more clean than if you were to use the electric. So in my opinion, just save yourself the hassle of having to call Healthy Tanks after you've already called a company that uses the electric hydrojetter. Just go ahead and call Healthy Tanks, get it cleaned the first time, get it cleaned right the first time, and I promise you won't regret it. Check it out, folks. The proof is in the pudding, as they say. Black 1, empty. Black 2, empty. Gray 1, empty. Gray 2, empty. Never since we have bought this have all of the tanks read completely empty like that. I think maybe there was one time where I got one of the black tanks to read empty, but as stuff builds up, it gets clogged again, the sensors get messed up, and that's what happens. They just don't read empty. So it's a sensor issue. But as you can see, all of that stuff was coming out as he was hydrojetting it. So once again, Healthy Tanks does an amazing job. There's no doubt about it in my mind. This is 100% worth it. All right, you guys did an amazing job, like absolutely wonderful. I just checked, all of the sensors are reading empty. Amazing, like Healthy Tanks is the way to go. And you were telling me that the company was actually founded a while ago.
Yes, back in 2007, the original owner of Healthy Tanks passed away in 2018, Dan Hiley. He had cancer, and so we took over the business from his wife, gave her some time to grieve his loss, and we love what we do.
Yes, how did you actually get into this? Because what a crazy thing to get into, cleaning out RV tanks.
Right, I'll let him answer that.
Basically, I grew up in RVs. My parents have been RVing since I was about 6 years old. So I know the workings, the ins and outs, all that good stuff. And we just happened to be friends with a company that that does RV repair. And Lori Hiley had brought the company to him to purchase. He didn't have time for it. And she said, well, if you know another young couple that might be interested, send them my way. And I just happened to run into them one day when I was needing work on another trailer that I owned. And that was the match made in heaven. We contacted her and we worked out a deal, and we were able to take over in 2018. And you guys do an absolute wonderful job. You have the Taking a Risk seal of approval. That is for sure. I cannot believe you did it. I gotta shake your hand. Like, I can't even believe it. I don't even care if they're dirty right now. Like, what you just did blows my mind. Yeah. Thank you. How? It's crazy because, like she was saying, since we've had this thing, it has never read empty. And you were pulling out stuff that we didn't even know was in there. And you actually got the thing to close all the way, the black tank to seal. Sensors are working. And that's just what the hydrojetter is good for, you know. And a lot of people think, you know, the higher pressure is going to do some damage in there, when it's just inexperience. A lot of people are popping up. They're not getting enough training. They're not seeing enough throughout the community of RVs that are out there. Now, there's so many different ones. And now we're going in there with these hydrojetters, and with our experience, we can get them squeaky clean, get those sensors working again, and most of the time get those valves closing properly and working without having to have a repairman come and change those seals for
Yes,
you.
and you guys have been out here for a few hours. We truly appreciate all your time, and you guys definitely have the patience to do this. So Healthy Tanks is highly recommended.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you once again to Charlie and Rose for coming out and cleaning our tanks. If you'd like to get your tanks clean, make sure you check the description down below, and it'll give you all the information to contact them for them to come out and clean your tanks as well. If you enjoy watching the RV lifestyle, make sure you subscribe down below because we're posting content every single day. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really does help. And in the comment section below, you'll see a pinned comment from Healthy Tanks. And if you need to contact them, that's another way to contact them. So make sure you do it. Keep them busy. Thank you all so very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.